Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Living Fiercely, the podcast that helps you sharpen your mindset, elevate your energy, and lead with confidence in everything you do. I'm your host, Tiana, and today we are diving into a topic that can completely change the way you show up in life and business, and that is identity shift. If you feel like you've been stuck at the same level despite doing all the right things, this episode is for you. So let me start with this. You will never outperform the identity you hold about yourself. Let me repeat that. You will never outperform or achieve more, do better than the identity that you hold about yourself. That identity is your upper limit. You can have the perfect morning routine, the best strategy, and all the to-do list in the world, but if deep down you still see yourself as someone who's not ready, who's not good enough, or not the type who wins or has certain things, whatever that may be, that identity will silently sabotage your progress every single time. In this episode, I want to talk about how to intentionally shift your identity so that you can finally align with the version of yourself that creates success naturally. The version of you who doesn't have to hustle so hard to prove something just because success becomes who you are. And I'm not just sharing theory. This is something that I've done over and over and again in my life, and something that my clients have done, and something that works. Every time I've broken through a new level, personally, professionally, emotionally, it wasn't just because I tried harder or I tried a new strategy. It was because I changed who I was being. I changed what I thought is possible for me. And I have also rejected even work that I thought was not a part of my new identity anymore. So let's get into it. Let's see what is an identity shift and why it matters. So identity shift is not about pretending. It's about reprogramming the beliefs that you have about who you are. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe you are. Even big champions and athletes like Novak Djokovic, for example, he talked so many times about how he would visualize him winning the first place and winning Wimbledon. You can be sure that he put a lot of work, sweat, and dedication into winning it. But the important thing is that he knew that that was possible for him. He could see being a world champion as his identity. So I want you to think of identity as your internal thermostat. If it's set at a certain level of confidence, income, or impact, you might strike above it and stay there for a little bit, but you will always come back down unless you actually change the setting. And the dangerous part is that most people don't even realize their identity is what's holding them back. So you may say things like this: I'm just not a morning person, or I'm not that confident on camera, or maybe I've never been great with money. Whatever your story may be. Those aren't facts. Those are identity statements. And as long as you keep repeating them, even in your head, you are reinforcing a version of you that will stay stuck. So how does identity shape your actions and results? I want to give you a real example. Years ago, I saw myself as someone who worked hard, but not necessarily someone who succeeded easily. I was addicted to the hustle because it made me feel worthy and like I was doing something useful. But deep down, I didn't see myself as a powerful or magnetic leader. And so I kept creating results that matched that identity, overworking, undercharging, and just playing small. So when I finally stopped and asked myself, who do I want to be? Everything changed. The moment I decided I am a woman who commands presence, I am a coach people seek out, I'm someone who walks into the room and owns it, I started to behave differently. And not because I suddenly had more motivation, but because I had the new identity to live up to. And that's what identity shifts do. They change how you think, they change how you speak, and they change how you move through the world. And the world will always respond to who you are. I want you to think about the person who you truly want to be. What does this person do? What are his or her habits? What do they accept? What do they believe? How does their day look? How do they show up in the world, in business, in relationship? What do they tolerate? Or what do they no longer tolerate? What are they wearing? How are they spending their time? I want you to vividly imagine this and start acting today as that version. So how do you create a powerful identity shift? First, you need to get clear on the version of you that wins. What is that version of you? And then second, interrupt the old identity patterns. Every time you hear yourself say, I'm not the type of person who ... Pause and choose a new narrative. It's not going to come easy and natural at first, but you need to consciously catch yourself when repeating old beliefs. And instead of saying, I've always been anxious, try saying, I'm learning to trust myself. Or instead of, I'm bad at selling, try by saying, I'm getting better at selling. Your brain doesn't know the truth. It listens to your commands. So feed your brain with words that serve you. Language creates reality. And third step is take actions that reinforce that new identity. You don't have to fake it, but you do have to prove it to yourself. Want to be someone who shows up confidently? Post the video, make that call, follow up on that email, talk to that stranger. Want to be someone who prioritizes your health? Get up and move, even for 5 minutes. Join the gym. Start working out. It's not the size of the action, it is the consistency that counts. And lastly, what you need to know that you are already capable. You just need to align. This part is so important. The version of you who wins, she or he is already inside of you. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to shred the identities that were never yours to begin with. Maybe you were told that you're too much or that you're not enough. Maybe you failed before and failed many times and you just started identifying yourself with failure. Like nothing ever works for you or that what you have right now is the best that you can do. But that is BS, because if you do have a desire for more, that means that you can have more. Because the identity that you're living right now is not who you are. That is also the identity that you've learned to be. And you can unlearn it the same way and learn a new identity. You can rewrite the rules, you can shift your identity, and when you do, the results you've been chasing will start to chase you. And to wrap up today's episode, here is your reminder: don't just work harder. Start becoming the version of you who wins before the evidence shows up. That's how real change will happen, from the inside out. And if this episode sparked something in you, please do me a favor, follow this podcast, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Because you never know who's just one identity shift away from a breakthrough. I'll catch you in the next episode of Living Fiercely. And until then, stay bold, stay grounded, and remember, it's already within you. You just have to become it.